She's not like looking at your first profile where she's gonna swipe right or left. Like, understand that she's gonna look at more photos. That's why that first photo is so it's more important than any other photo that you take, right?
Hmm.
Because if she's not even looking at the rest of your photos,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance.
Yeah, I think surprises are underutilized in relationships.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Like, obviously, you shouldn't keep secrets from your spouse,
Yeah.
but there is like, like the way that you deliver certain things, like, and when that timing happens is just so important. Can make like a really big difference. Like,
What was the proposal like?
it was really nervous. I mean, yeah, like a lot of shaking. I wasn't able to talk, and it was really scary. But she said yes, and it was all okay.
I'm assuming the worry wasn't related to her saying no, right? It was more just other things.
Yeah, I'd say other things. And I don't know. You still like never actually know, right?
Welcome to the Match Artist Podcast. My name's Nick, and today we are joined by our first ever client and probably one of our best success stories. He's my co founder, Shane. He's based in Dallas, and we just wanted to talk a little bit more about relationships since we both found our wives from each other's photos and talk a little bit more about our stories. So, welcome, Shane.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me.
So this is fun sitting down to chat about this stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that, we've known each other for almost 10 years now. But just trying to let the viewers know a little bit more about our story because I think I've discounted how cool our story actually is. It's like, oh, how much do other people care about our story and what started the Match Artist? But as I've been reflecting more on it, like we do have a really cool story, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really fun. But I think you're right to be a bit hesitant because at the end of the day, it's not all about us. It's about all the cool stories we're creating for other people. But that doesn't mean that our story isn't, also cool.
Yeah. So we can, there's another episode for the more like beginnings of the Match Artist, but we can kind of give a little recap on, so we were both based in Fargo and yeah, give me the short version of getting started.
Yeah. So really quick one. So you took my Tinder photos because Tinder was the only app at the time. This would have been 2015, 2016. Uh, you took my photos in the studio. And then just that one photo, like, really kinda changed it, but then I called you up afterwards, like, a week later, it's like, "Hey, we gotta do this," and then you took, like, my pictures, like, flying planes and me being a DJ, like, all the cool stuff that made me me, and I just had a cool Tinder profile for years and years, ended up meeting, Molly, who's my now wife, and then it was after, dating her where I was like, "Hey, Nick, what do you like, let's help other people with this."
Yeah, so long ago at this point.
For sure. I do like the Fargo thing because, like, we don't really, like, serve that many clients in Fargo, but every time I see that we have one, I, like, wanna, like, "Hey, did you know?"
How many have we shot in Fargo?
Like, 2 or 3.
Two or three. But it is the only, isn't it the only page that we have that doesn't really make sense for the population?
For sure, for sure, yeah, we only serve, cities, like, of more than, like, 200,000 or something like that, but for Fargo, it's like, "No, this is our home." So we kinda carved out an extension, and that is, yeah, the only city under 200,000 that we, currently serve.
We'll have to add a Moorhead and Dilworth Wahpeton pages.
All the homies from Wapaton, they need all their photos.
I wonder if it picks up a little bit more in the future because I feel like, sorry to the Fargo homies out there, but it's like Fargo is a bit behind in certain areas, where they like, as online dating has progressed, it's like normal to online date as of a few years ago. And, even more normal now to, or maybe not more normal, but just to get photos for your online dating profile.
Yeah, that's a good observation, but man, all I know is, like, dating in, like, low population areas is really rough.
Is that why you left?
Yeah. No. I left because it was so cold.
Yeah, in talking with friends that are up there, friends and family, most people are still back there. it's like they're always complaining about it, and I always say something like, "You don't have to live there." Like, it is a choice, you can but people just get pigeonholed in there, and it's like where their life is at, and they never, hit warmer climates outside of vacation, I guess.
Yeah, I get it and don't get it all at the same time.
It's nice to go back for the summers.
Yeah, I agree. Or, like, I don't mind, now that, like, there's, like, a warm home, I will totally go and embrace the cold for, like, a Christmas or something. Bundle all up, get the big old bomber hat on, and then there's, like, a week, and I was like, "Okay, time to go home. Oh, it's 75 in Dallas. Ah,
About
shucks."
so you left because of the cold, probably other reasons too. Right.
Well, I got a job, teaching computer science in a coding boot camp in Dallas.
Okay.
So that's why I specifically chose Dallas. And funny enough, I don't know, I was, like, looking at, like, Boston, and, I'm kinda glad that that didn't work out because I don't think I really realized how much I dislike the cold until coming down here.
Yeah, it took me a bit once I moved down here, but, I always said it was like a few degrees per year that you'd get used to the heat, and, yeah, still keep the house at, 68 when my wife lets me, and I slept really well last night at 65 now that my wife is out of town for work for a few days. It's a little obnoxious, but, you know, gotta, have compromises on the temperature. So you moved down to so you were in Austin for a little bit, right? Like, that's where you were living in Austin and then moved to Dallas from there?
Yeah, I went from Fargo to Dallas, and then the coding boot camp in Dallas kinda went under, but they had another location here in Austin. But while I was living in Dallas, I met Molly, and that's where she's from, and she, likes Dallas and all that stuff, so I ended up coming back, kinda, like, after we got this off the ground and just some other sources, so I wasn't, reliant on the teaching income, and now, yeah, living in Dallas ever since I think 2019?
Okay. I know you probably tell Molly that she's the only person you ever went on a date with from online dating, but probably not quite accurate based on stories you've told me. But what would you say is was different or like what did you notice about dating in Texas that was different than dating in Fargo?
Well, 1, it was much better, but 2, I also really didn't date that much in Texas. Like, I moved, I mean, we're talking, like, 2 weeks. I met Molly after moving down here.
Oh wow. So how many dates before that?
In Texas?
Yeah.
Like, 2 or 3?
So Texas was the answer.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when we plugged in your photos to, like, a large population, I mean, I was already seeing, like, really good, results and stuff out of all the photos, but, man, when we took that same profile in, like, a larger population, I mean, it was just even amplified everything we did.
So which one were you using as your first one when you got down to Texas?
Just Tinder, I think that was the only dating app available at the time. I mean, obviously it wasn't, but that was a
Photo
thing.
you were using.
The photo?
What was like the main one?
Oh, it's definitely the headshot.
Okay.
I really like those. I've kind of, like, learned through you and Dan, your dating coach, like, that those super professional headshots, they're not the move anymore.
Like the studio one.
Yeah, the studio ones, but that kinda makes me bummed out because, like, man, like, I just that was such, like, a fun shot and, like, to get in front of a studio and, like, the lights, like, that's yeah,
Yeah.
that'll always be my favorite one.
And I think those are cool because especially when we pair the facial expression coaching with what I would say better lighting than you'd see in most corporate headshots that our clients maybe had in the past, it's way more interesting. So you can coach and really bring out the confidence in the guys. And then the lighting is a little bit more moody than your standard headshot. And so guys see that and it's like, oh, I want that. Like, when we stopped, I mean, we still do plenty of headshots in different areas, but when we kind of moved away from like the studio lighting to better serve the clients, it's like definitely had some guys that were a little bummed. Like they wanted that epic shot and we can still get it. But yeah, it's amazing to see those headshots for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the main reason why we had to move away from them is because, like, it is kind of like back in the day, like, online dating photos wasn't, like, really a thing. Now there maybe it was, like, kind of like perception or like, "Oh, you hired some portrait photographer and you went into a studio." So we're just kinda trying to differentiate ourselves from that, but that doesn't mean it's still not
Yeah.
really cool shot.
You used to be able to just upload, a photo with a blurry background, and it's like, decent expression, that's all you needed, and, so our early guys, like, definitely cleaned up a lot. They still do, but, it was a different world in 2018.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But, on that very first profile, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 2018 or 2025, like, what the whole point of that is, like, she's not, like, looking at your first profile where she's gonna swipe right or left. Like, understand that she gonna look at more photos, and that's why that first photo is so it's more important than any other photo that you take, right?
Mhm.
Because if she's not even looking at the rest of your photos,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance, and that's why I think we put so much, effort and intention making sure that we're always delivering that best first photo.
It's almost like a tryout, or recent client on the podcast said, like, job interview kinda thing. I mean, and there's levels to the job interview where there's that first photo, it's like, "Do I even wanna look at more?" It's like, "Okay, this guy's good looking, seems like he, you know, has things together in his life." And it's like, "Okay, then I'm gonna look at the bio," and I think it's hunting for disqualifiers. Like, your weakest point of your profile is what they're gonna disqualify you based on.
Yeah, I mean, you're so spot on, right? Like, she's not looking for reasons to swipe right on you, she's looking for reasons to not choose you or to swipe left on you.
So that fish photo, guys, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest complaint we hear from women. It's like, "Why are you all holding fish?"
Fishing's fun. No.
Yeah, fishing is fun. I mean, the reason is because guys hate taking pictures.
Mhm.
And when's the only time a guy takes a picture? It's when he does something, like catches a fish or
That he's proud of.
yeah, something yeah. And the photo like, the reason he's taking that photo isn't because of him, it's because he really wants to show off the fish. But the problem is when your dating profile is not of you, it's of this fish you got.
Yeah, there's few women that would appreciate that, but and I think even at the beginning, when we were still, like, figuring things out in 2018, I think we had some early fishing photos. Oh, you remember the shoot that we went with it's that security guy that we went out to, like, do fishing photos, and, like, the creek was, like, dried up, and I think we still figured out how to make it work.
I mean, you can still take fishing photos, just make sure, like, you're fishing and not just, holding a giant fish because that's a cliche.
Make it creative. So you, met Molly after couple of weeks. I mean, you'd been online dating for, at least a few years before that. Had she been online dating much?
A little, but not too much. I think she was in a relationship for quite some time, and then she was only single, like, a few months before we met.
Feel like I've heard all these stories of women on dating apps that it's so much easier. I mean, they have different, guys have trouble with the matches, and women have trouble sorting through all of the matches. And yeah, when I think about talking with my wife about it, she was online dating for about 2 to 3 weeks total before she met me. Not to say she couldn't have looked a little harder and found somebody better, but yeah, it's just, it can happen really quickly and faster if you're a guy with good photos.
For sure. I mean, I don't wanna discount the troubles that women have on dating because
Mhm.
it's honestly just as hard for them. It's just such a different problem, and they don't have a problem with, necessarily getting matches as much. They also are just so much better at taking pictures of themselves
Yeah.
in general.
What would you say that is? That, like, why do you think they're so much better?
Oh, I mean, I mean, it's, who they are. Like, they really care about how they look. I mean, there's a whole makeup industry, just they really, really care about how they look. And I mean, us guys should take some lessons from them because, if you put some effort into looking better, it just makes everything so much easier when you enter the dating market.
I think enjoying yourself in photos, or just, like, wanting to show it off, is one of my favorite transformations that I see from guys. Because, like, obviously, we're gonna get people matches and help them work towards finding that one person, but just the confidence boost they get from like actually liking themselves in photos. And I've had a number of guys, "Hey Nick, like what camera should I buy? Like I want more photos of myself and friends." And it's just this new confidence from the coaching and how they feel in the photos for the first time that they're ready to go. Like
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I saw a picture of me that you took, and man, I feel like I've never seen myself in a photo the way I see myself in my head, and it was,
Mhm.
like, really, really cool, like, that was the first time I ever got to experience that.
Yeah, unpack that a little bit more about like I've heard that. I think it was James from a recent podcast. It was like he was talking about the guy he sees in the mirror, the guy that he likes in those moments he had never seen in photos before.
I mean, it does mirror that, and then just to build on top of that, like, we work really hard to keep our head in a good space so that we have, like, good self-confidence and whatnot, and you kinda have this, vision of you yourself in your head, and you never ever get to see yourself outside your body, right? It's
Mhm.
kinda weird, like, you're looking at me right now, and I will never get to experience, how you see me just because, like, my eyes are here.
Mhm.
So photos, videos, that's the only way we can see it, and when, I'm a typical guy, just like every other guy, like, I don't have good photos of myself, so the only photos and, external view of myself were from the same crappy photos that every guy had, right, taking stupid selfies, and then just to see myself in, like, a really good, light was just it was really cool, it's really game changing.
Yeah. So we talked about this in the other podcast, but you guys I guess you could say you met at Whataburger technically. You had your first date at Whataburger, and then what was it like after that?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we started spending way too much time with each other, probably more than was healthy, but it worked for us. And like I said, we did the long distance things for quite a while because I was living here in Austin, she was in Dallas. So I was taking the mega bus up quite a lot.
Oh, man, you must have really loved her.
Hey, the mega bus was not that bad at the time. It was $11, but I'd typically pay the extra $5 to get a nicer seat.
At least it wasn't Greyhound, right?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Taking the bus up to see her. How long before, because this is a difficult topic for some guys of like once they find somebody they really like, and a lot of the ones that, end up I wouldn't say like end up working, but when you are like as our dating coach calls it love bombing, that you meet and it's obsessive, you're sharing everything, but like when was that chat where you're like, hey, is this something like are we deleting the apps? Did you delete your like, what was that like?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think it was a little less anticlimactic than that. It just kinda naturally fell into place, like, when we were spending so much time with each other, like, I don't think it ever even got brought up. I think it just was kind of assumed like, "Hey, yeah, we've just been dating and then got married in September of '22."
Wow. Did you go on any dates after you met her?
Oh my god, no.
I mean, it depends on how much you, uh, were in love from the first time,
Well, yeah,
but
that's true.
'cause I went on one more, it was the next day. I don't even know if Allie knows that, but I didn't she wouldn't have an issue with it because we were just, we were dating, we were figuring out our lives. So what was it about you've done enough dating in the past. What was it about Molly that felt different?
I don't know, she is just very kind, which I haven't really, seen before. I mean, I've definitely seen that before, but not like like, her level of kindness was just really, really nice, and her and I, we really take care of each other, which is super fun.
Mhm.
Like, if I'm having, like, a bad day, like, she'll bring me, like, little snacks or something, and even just before I left to come here, I, like, make sure to, like, write her a little note and, put some Oreos underneath her bed, right? Like
Underneath her bed?
or, like, underneath her pillow, so she finds them.
Sure. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I remember from the beginning because you were dating. Yeah, when was your like? When do you guys call your like your meeting day or like when do you like celebrate
Yeah,
from
I'd
when you
say,
met?
like, May of 2018.
Okay, yeah. So I met Allie in September of 2020. And so I had, you know, 2 years of like working close with you on a business and also being good friends and just seeing uh, following Molly on Instagram. And, you're not the type to like post things about yourself or what you do, but I would constantly see all the really cute things that you did for her on social media. And I just, that kind of set the stage for how I think about relationships, like once you're in a solid one and like what you do for someone. The cute notes and the scavenger hunts and, something that, yeah, I've tried to implement into my relationship.
Oh, I'm good, glad. Yeah, I think, like, just really taking time and doing something for someone else, like, almost daily, if for sure weekly, is, like, so, so important, and, I don't know, I mean, that's where I think Molly and I, like, really clicked, like, I've always done that, and then she, like, would return the favor, and we just had some good times, and there's never they don't have to be expensive or anything like that, but, like, one time I got home and I was, like, feeling kinda bored, so I went to, the grocery store and bought, like, these little really cheap squirt guns, right? And I, like, filled them both up and, like, wrote a note like, "I'm hiding and I'm waiting for you." And then we got in, like, this squirt gun fight, and we just did that sort of stuff, like, all the time. We still do stuff like that.
That's funny because that's one of the ones I screenshotted back in the day. I have it on my phone, a photo of you. I think it's a red t-shirt. You're like smiling and your t-shirt's wet or something. And it's like that's exactly like what set the stage for just the playfulness with Allie.
Yeah, yeah, playfulness is definitely a good one. It's just so fun to do, like, little surprises or things that you don't expect. Like, we just had an issue with our dog for whatever reason starting to eat the cat food. Before I left for work one morning, I took the time to, like, write a note that said, "Augie, do not eat the cat food." And then I put it right above the cat food. Yeah, it was just really fun for, like, Molly to, like, find like yeah, I took time out of the day to, like, do something to make her laugh.
Yeah. I need to do more of that. I feel like our relationship has gotten better and better, but, it's easy to forget to do the little things.
Oh, you gotta have something, though, fun that you did, right?
Oh, yeah, and yeah, before, there's there's one time where I'll have to see if I can find the photos, but, we were just dating at the time. We like going to concerts, and so I took I had bought, like, probably yeah, definitely more expensive tickets than I could afford to the Killers, and so I set up an entire scavenger hunt in my then apartment where it was, like, pictures of like, different serial killers, because like, Allie's a woman, she enjoys that kinda stuff, following true crime, and it was all of these different, serial killers over time where she had to go from one to the next, and, she was coming over after some event that she had and showed up, and, I'm, like, sitting on the floor. I put all the smart lights to red, and I had, like, creepy music playing, and she didn't know what was going on. I had bought these tickets, and so she went through all the different serial killers to the very end where they were, like, the printout of the tickets that we were gonna go to.
Did she catch on?
Yeah, at the end.
How many serial killers did she have to go through?
I mean, I don't even know if it's something we talked about other than we both love the Killers. So we were just, yeah, she noticed at the very end and like, oh, it like all made sense.
She's like, "Nick, are you gonna kill me?"
I think it was a little beyond when you'd be worried about that, but
The long con. Yeah, I mean, notes and stuff are a big one. Kind of the similar thing to you, like, for our one-year wedding anniversary, I, uh, I took her on like, we weren't sure what we were gonna do, and I was like, "Alright, I'm just gonna make some plans." So, I took her on a vacation, but for the first kinda 12 or I didn't tell her where we were going.
wow,
I,
that's stressful for a woman.
I hung up like, every day, she got one clue of where we were going. and I hung up all these, like, kinda like clues on the wall, and every day she'd get to reveal one.
What were some of the examples of the clues?
A lot of the examples we were actually staying at the hotel where they filmed The White Lotus,
Mm.
so it was a bunch of, like, sort of White Lotus sort of clues.
Okay.
That was, like, the final clue because, like, in The White Lotus, like, they're staying at, like, the pineapple suite.
Oh, did she get it?
No. But I think she did she eventually picked up on the Hawaii aspect.
So when would you say it became apparent that like that she was the one? Where you're like, okay, I'm sure at this point, I'm thinking more towards like a life with her for the rest of my life.
I would say maybe, like, when we moved in with each other, like, a year and a half maybe it's, like, a year and a half, 2 years after we moved in. I've never lived with anyone before. I was very, like, very nervous about that, like, I barely even had roommates. Uh,
Why was that? Like why don't you like living with people?
well, I mean, that's just nothing I ever did, you know, like, why would you like, as soon as I was able to, like, I got my own place. Like, I didn't live with my parents at all right after college, anything like that. So I just always liked living by myself. I was so nervous to, like, move in with her, and, it went so much smoother than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And that was like a really green flag, like, "Oh, this is easy, this is good." So I'd say right after moving in.
Yeah. We never moved in together before marriage, which I know can be a little risky for some people, but I mean, it only improved my life like dramatically once she was around. As just, yeah, having somebody to support and be a little cleaner than I was at the time. I'm a little bit better these days, but while we're on it, the proposal. So you guys had been how long had you been dating before then?
She would say too long, I would say just right about right. It's about 5 years.
Why why did you take long? Well, why did you take a long time? Per
Uh,
her perspective.
I just was not enjoying getting older, was something I really struggled with, you know, I was saw myself in, like, my early 20s or whatnot, and, people in their early 20s don't get married, but, like, as I was, like, approaching 32, 33, like, it was just kinda, like, more my journey, like, I knew she was always gonna I know that's something that she really wanted, but it took me a bit of time to kind of accept, like, yeah, there really is only one alternative to getting older.
So you knew she was the one for a while, fairly soon after, you just, like, trying to figure out the best time to get married?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So after all of your stories about surprises and cute notes, like, what was the proposal like?
Yeah, the proposal was interesting. She did an open mic night, er, and I contacted the venue ahead of time, like, "Hey," after my wife, like, she loves music and she, like, wrote her own songs and stuff. So I figured, like, right after she gets done, I was gonna propose. I reached out to the venue ahead of time to, like, make sure they knew I was coming, I was doing this. They were so excited, they, like, made us a cake and made it really special and got, like, projector out. And then, yeah, so as soon as she was done singing her songs, I went and, like, proposed. I read a whole speech. It's still hanging up on her wall right now, and, she said yes.
Nice. What were you feeling up before that? Was there, like what were the nerves like?
It was really nervous. I mean, yeah, like, a lot of shaking. I wasn't able to talk, and it was really scary, but, she said yes, and it was all okay.
I'm assuming the worry wasn't related to her saying no, right? It was more just other things?
Yeah, I'd say other things, and I don't know, you still, like, never actually know, right? So, yeah, I was glad to have that kinda behind me.
Yeah. Did you have anything else planned around the engagement?
I rented out, like, a hotel in Dallas. It was, like, a really nice room, and I went and printed off all the pictures of her and I, and so that way when she got back to the hotel or back no, I mean, we were in Dallas, right? So it's our home, and we got back to the house. I actually had my friend Kyle, like, hang up, like, "Congratulations," and our dog, Augie, had, like, a big congratulations thing on that he was wearing, and then we went there, and then we went to the hotel, and it was just really nice.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I think surprises are underutilized in relationships.
I would agree. I think like surprises are like the best tool that you can use, to really keep things alive.
Yeah, and I think you're really good at withholding information until the right moment, where that's something that I feel like I'm better at with Allie, but in general, I'm always like, I start a new hobby, it's like, I'm gonna tell somebody about it. It's like that's my validation, but you're just like, you're really good at like holding your cards close to your chest, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's really important. Like, obviously, you shouldn't keep secrets from your spouse,
Yeah.
but there is like, like the way that you deliver certain things, like, and when that timing happens is just so, so important. Can make like a really, really big difference. Like, even like going back to like, guys, I left my wife Oreos, like purposely, like knowing that she's gonna get, like, right before she goes to bed
Mhm.
is so much of a better experience for her than, like, if I were to just, like, hand her a bag of Oreos out the door, you know?
Yeah, or text her saying, "Hey, these are in the cabinet," or something.
Yeah, yeah, so you just, like, really trying to, like, figure out the surprising and, like, how to convey the surprise at the right time is really, really important.
Oh, that actually would possibly be a great, YouTube title, "Why I Left My Wife Oreos." Why I Left My Wife Oreos.
Make sure you get the double stuff, though.
Unless you have a wife that is strange and prefers the regular. Yeah. I mean, as far as red flags that I've found, that's
A
it.
huge red flag.
I mean, we had a point where I mean, we're eating a lot healthier now, but we definitely had a point where when we weren't, we would if we wanted Oreos, we would get 2 different kinds when we got to the store.
Have you ever got the mega stuff Oreos?
I am really glad that those exist now because that provides the perfect compromise to like, okay, my wife wants the regular ones, I want the mega stuff, let's compromise on the double stuff.
Oh,
And that actually worked, a few days ago.
nice. Yeah, I will still double stack. Okay.
I feel like my impatience towards eating Oreos has overcome my ability to do that anymore, but yeah, compromise.
So what about you? I know you met Allie in 2020 through online dating.
Met on Bumble.
You met on Bumble, and how long were you guys dating before you kind of knew it was time to pop the question?
Yeah, we met in September of 2020, so it was, yeah, COVID relationship, and I feel like some of those I mean, there are lockdowns here in Texas obviously weren't as bad as some of the other, uh, different policy sort of states, but I think that led to relationships going a little bit quicker, because you're like, what other choice? If you like somebody, you're just gonna spend all your time together. Maybe you can't go to all the bars or different places that you'd like to go to, so you just hang out and you form a level of intimacy, I think, faster than if you hadn't met during COVID. So, yeah, we met September 2020, and yeah, things went super well. We totally did the love bombing thing where you meet somebody, you're immediately obsessed. And this was after I'd always done like more of the general online dating thing where I'm like, I'm just trying to cast out a wide net and catch as many fish as I can. And I tweaked some things in my profile after learning more about dating intentionally and putting out there what I'm looking to find. And so for me, um, I added theology in my bio. It was just something I'm interested in. I wasn't gonna do, I'm a Christian, but I didn't want to do the like coffee and Jesus or just the super cheesy stuff that people do online when they're looking to find a Christian. But yeah, I just put theology because I like deep thinking about God, and yeah, that attracted Allie and things went pretty quickly. Came to April of 2022. I was ready to propose, and same as you, I like to do go big and plan out things. And so Um, I planned it so neither Allie or I smoke weed, but I knew that if I'm proposing on the week of 420, I might as well pick 420 because I'll always remember it. If somebody says like, "When did you get engaged?" 420, it's like it's right there because it just happened to be that week. I had done one of the rings from one of the places that sources it from online, and I was just waiting for it to come in, and it was kind of dependent on that. I told Allie because she's done some marketing work for us and some graphic design. She's on the website. I told her that you wanted better headshots for the website that were more cohesive and all with the same background. I told her that, little white lies here and there that it's like, oh, you were in town and we were all meeting. I don't even remember what time, but it's sometime in the afternoon. We were all meeting out by um, Town Lake in Austin and we were gonna shoot the new headshots. And I kept pretending to look on my phone, like, "Oh, we're trying to meet the photographers. Oh, they parked over, yeah, Allie, they parked over on this side," and we're like walking out there. We had one of our photographers that was hiding in the bushes or just in the trees along this trail, and yeah, I was just, we kept walking and, I kinda let her walk out a little bit ahead and, down on my knee and proposed right there, and she was so in shock. I mean, I was shaking like crazy, but she was so in shock and excited. She did say yes, unfortunately for her. But yeah, she said yes, and she was still like, "Oh, okay, so, like, where are they at? We need to do the headshots." I'm like, "We're not doing headshots." And from the proposal, but I had planned a day after that where, the rest of the afternoon, we went over to one of our other past clients, Justin, that, he now has a kid as a result of Match Artist, but he has a really cool projector and massive house out in Austin, and we did like a film screening there. He just like provided his place, and then later on, I had already gotten like really close up tickets to John Mayer, one of our favorite artists, and then the next day I did have to tell her because, the whole not telling a woman where they're going on vacation is like, it's risky, I think. But yeah, we went to LA the next day. And honestly, all of that is like because of you, because I think I was telling you that I was going to propose and you were just talking about because you had proposed before that and how you talked about how special of a time that was like right afterward that you're never going to get that back. And so you were just like, take the time off, like go do something, go really spend that time together. And so we went out to LA and yeah, just had a really great time. Ate some really good food and just went around the city and such a magical time, like, right afterward.
Yeah, I'm so glad you took my advice because you're so spot on. Like, obviously, like, I remember the engagement, just like you, I like remember shaking and all that. But what I really remember is like that next day after, because I did the same thing. I took the whole day off of work and it was just her and I. And oh man, those are like some of my, well, I don't think one I've ever looked as good as that first day because we were both just so happy. And
Yeah.
oh, I can even tell you the detail of the coffee that we drank the next morning because that next day is so special. So that's some solid advice for anyone watching this. Like, if you're planning on proposing, make sure that, block off like the next 2 or 3 days to just be really, really special and plan something for you and your partner.
And take lots of pictures too. I think that's I mean, something that our clients learn after they get the photos, like, "Maybe I should take more photos." But it's like you think that you'll remember it all in the moment, and I remember, like, most of it, but just all the little details of photos that I snapped on that trip, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, probably the happiest time in like our relationship was like, from like the engagement to the wedding. Obviously there's some stress, but man, there's just a lot of brightness, a lot of just really, really fun times.
So after the proposal, she says yes. Um, how long before she started planning the wedding?
Oh my god.
Immediately?
I mean, we did get to have, like, a couple days, but yeah, I mean, it was within a week.
She had her big binder, right?
Yeah, which she had a huge binder, we both wanted, like, a really, like, nice big wedding, obviously, because like, I was a DJ before, so I've been to so many weddings, and I wanted ours to be, like, really, really special, so we were both, like, really aligned on that, which was pretty fun, like, putting together a big wedding. Yeah, it was stressful, but again, same thing, like, we made sure to, like, keep that same element, like, we tried to surprise our guests, and every little, detail that we put together, like, came through in the wedding, and, oh, I'm like, a lot of people will say like, you'll hear this over and over again, like, "Oh, save money, just get married at the courthouse," and
Mhm.
I'm so glad we didn't do that, like,
Yeah.
I remember my wedding and, like, because we're both from Florida, right? And, like, people just don't come all the way down here, but for that one day, like, everyone made the trip to come see Molly and I, and it was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, your guys' wedding, like, what were the surprises that you were most excited about that, like, barely anybody knew about?
Well, we had really good food, which I think was, pretty exciting, because most wedding food is just, like, roasted chicken that's, dried up, but we worked really, really hard to find a Brazilian caterer. We tried so many places, and yeah, we're still on a budget, right? So, like, we went to so many different caterers. We've ended up going to, like, this farm in Canton, or this, farmer's market in Canton, found this guy. So we had really good food. Um, I know, like, when the church, or when we didn't get married in church, but it was kinda like a chapel sort of a thing, and as soon as we walked in, there's this big bell that we got to ring, which is really fun. But I think the best surprise was, of course, the fireworks.
Did people didn't know about that
No one had
beforehand?
any idea. We kept that locked down. We didn't tell any of our parents.
Oh, really?
No, it was only her and I and the photographer who knew that.
And you just led people out?
Yeah, we gave, like, this giant speech. We were on, like, top of, like, a roof, and we, like, gave a speech, like, "Thank you so much for coming out, blah, 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 and we just wanna leave you with one thing," and then they all went off, and wow, I'm so happy we got fireworks, that was just so fun.
Oh, yeah, I think back to that, and I also had, like, a amazing week that week because we had just, like, packed a bunch of things together where it was, like, we had, like, pit tickets to, Panic at the Disco, and then it was the next night was, like, close-up tickets to The Killers, and then it was your wedding, and yeah, just, like, so many emotions there from, like, favorite bands and doing it all, like, with my wife, and then, like, you guys' wedding.
And you were
Like,
getting married too, like, a couple weeks after us.
yeah, yeah, yours was September, because ours was late October, so, yeah, like, 2 months.
We also, like, we got married outside of Fort Worth, and, like, all of our family and stuff was in the stockyard, so, like, kinda, like, show them all Texas.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Got to make the joke about getting the boots at the border, which I've heard you stole from me. Whenever someone, like, says, like, "Oh, when did you move to Texas?" I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, 2018." And as soon as I came over, they gave me boots at the border.
I did have some people text me about that joke thinking it was my joke, but
No, I would like to take credit. That's an original.
well, tell me about because like, one of my favorite moments from the wedding was when you stepped up to DJ. You know, you used to have a wedding DJ company, and you love yourself some Calvin Harris and, like, those jams.
Yeah, that was really fun. I mean, it was so important that we get a good DJ, and, we ended up actually even canceling the first DJ we went with because, like, I just got cold feet, and it's, like, so, so important to me, so we found a different guy who was a bit more kind of on brand for us, and oh, yeah, he brought the big trussing and the uplighting,
Mhm.
and I, like, made sure from day one, like, "Hey, I used to do this. I just wanna DJ, like, a little 20-minute set," so I practiced really hard and, put together a set, and then Molly, who actually loves to sing, actually, like, we did, like, an EDM song with vocals in it, and she actually got on the dance floor and, like, sang, like, part of this EDM song, which was, like, really cool, and then the drop hit, and there was smoke machines, and strobe. It was, man, what a fun time.
Yeah, I remember that. That's like I don't know if it's the week or that moment or I mean, I just remember, at your wedding, that's like, I kind of keep a mental list of, because we're both the type to enjoy live music and dancing and, the rave kind of thing. But I kind of keep a mental list of, the top moments on a dance floor, music related that made me the happiest. And like that moment when you and Molly were performing together at the wedding, and just with all the, context of like Molly being sick and like, just that this is working and that you guys are here together. It's just like, I remember like just crying, on the dance floor. Like, is this clip here. The
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, we were going so hard.
And I'm like, I wanted to dance so hard, but it was like I could feel that this is one of those moments I don't wanna forget, and it's like, this is kind of on that short list of, 10 or so moments that I don't know if you do this about past moments where it's like if you're having a down day and you can watch something to trigger the emotions of like, "Oh, this is like a happy moment that I experienced." Like, that's one of those.
Oh, that's pretty cool that you chose my wedding for a happy moment.
It chose me. It's one of those that, like, you don't know how you're gonna feel. It's just like I love how music makes people feel in different moments based on what they've experienced, and that was one of those that just, like, hit me really hard. And then, yeah, the fireworks, of course, and yeah, it's one of the best weddings I've been to.
Oh, thanks, man. How about you? Then you got married 6 weeks later. What was that like?
6 weeks later, we got married. It was, April to late October, so we didn't have much time. We were just like,
Moly, you guys were only engaged for, like, less than 6 months?
yeah, we did it really quickly. And I mean, like, with our beliefs and no judgment towards other people, it's like we wanted to live together and we were, until we were married, we just like chose to not do that. And so, yeah, we were ready to make it happen and, the distillery that we did it at was open then and yeah, it was just kind of out in the country outside of Austin, and yeah, we only did like 50, 60 people, I think most of which were Allie's family, because 'cause I'm like, no judgment towards her either, but I wanted to do something where it's like not just acquaintances or people that I don't talk to frequently. I wanted to do something that was exactly who I wanted there, like people that I really care about. And, if somebody hasn't either reciprocated or made an effort to like be in my life and, the past like few months before we got engaged, I'm like, I don't need them at the wedding. Whereas I think Allie felt a little bit more pressure from the family that like that great aunt or uncle or something, they should come. And I really just had my immediate family there and then my closest guy friends. Like that was the most important part for me.
And you also had a DJ. I remember you hired someone who's, like, playing, like, these really cool tracks.
Yeah, we had one of my friends way back from the Austin rave scene. um, it was fun because that's like out of the things that I cared about most for the wedding, I think it was like the music and the photography, which, Allie and I were aligned on the photography for sure. She didn't, she's not as much of a dancer. So I just wanted somebody to play some of the tracks that, because I think a lot about music association and, um, associating your favorite tracks with really great moments. And so, yeah, that was a fun time.
And you also had really good food.
Yeah, we did it's actually a food truck that's associated with Die Douai in Austin, and they do a lot of wild game. And so we had duck and um, boar and like stuff like that, just packed into tacos. And it was both my favorite that we had sampled, and it was also, if anybody is married out there, I mean, don't know why you're listening if you're married, but it's like if you've been married before, you know how much wedding food costs and how everything is severely marked up. And I mean, I think from this food truck, it was both the best food I had had and also ended up being like less than $15 a plate, like 15. Like it was insanely cheap and but also so good.
Wow. Yeah, that's a steal. Yeah, I think, like, your wedding and my wedding's the only 2 weddings I can think of where, like, the food was, like, really, really good.
Yeah, because people just go with the, like, whatever's, like, the in-house caterer where it's, like, it's gonna sound really good. It's gonna be, like, ribeye with scalloped potatoes and, asparagus, but it's just, like, everything's just been sitting in a warmer, and it's, like, not very tender, and yeah, it's not interesting either. Like, the booze is a lot more interesting. I mean, we had an amazing photographer that shot for us, and yeah, it was fun to have some of the match artist team there. They actually shot some video that still needs to get edited 3 years later, but, whenever it comes up that they were paid to edit my wedding video, I always have them, "No, focus on match artist stuff first." Like, we'll get to that eventually.
It's cool, and then afterwards, you stayed at the Commodore Perry. I'm so jealous. I've heard such great things about that place.
You gotta take Molly here and stay there for, yeah, at least 2 nights so where you can have, like, the day to just walk around the grounds, and you get special reservations at the restaurant that they have there. And yeah, everything is just perfect. It's designed by Ken Folk. If you've ever seen any of his design, he's the guy that it's like he can take the most vintage or something that would feel very out of place in certain decors or certain hotels and just make it work in different spaces. Yeah, and we took a bunch of photos from that. And what did you do right after the wedding?
We actually, got a room at the Stockyard Hotel, which was really fun because it's like this old, like, 1920s saloon
Mhm.
in, the Fort Worth Stockyards. And then, of course, because it's a wedding, we got put up in the suite, and, like, our room had a hot tub. It's, like, the same room that, like, like, all the country music stars stay there, and,
Mhm.
we totally played up, the boots and whatnot. Some of my favorite pictures of our wedding are, like, from that room, and I think you even came over, like, afterwards,
Did
like
I take those? Because I know I came in and took some photos of, like, you getting ready or, like, kind of to, like, mock up some photos that you didn't get.
yeah, yeah, there was that, and just, like, having you and, like, all my other friends there, like, it was just kind of a cool, friendly day. Because, again, we planned that whole day after our wedding was just, again, like, Molly and I spending time with each other, and then we carved out a good couple hours to spend with, like, the people we really care about.
Did you guys take any selfies at your wedding
I don't know, I don't think so.
or, like, after?
I kinda wish we did, though.
But just, like, that shot of, like, we're so exhausted. I'm sure you felt that, like, right after during the day and afterward, but, like, we finally got to the hotel, and I was like, "Let's take a picture," you know? And it's just this, like, one of my favorites that and then I put it on Instagram as, like, my main post. It's like, "We did it," you know? Like, we wrapped up the day, and it worked. And then afterward, we took a ton of photos at, um yeah, one of our photographers came and
Oh,
bought us some drinks, and
yeah, you
it was
guys are
just
such photographers. Oh, wow. Is that the Commodore?
yeah,
Wow.
we were just, like, took a bunch of artsy photos.
Yeah, that is so fun to have a photographer the day after your wedding.
Yeah, the lighting was so cool, and, this was just
That's just natural? Wow.
I believe this was in the shower. Like, it was just everything was so perfect. We just took all these fun photos of each other, and yeah, I mean, that's kinda what we did. We just brought our cameras around, and Allie was getting more into, photography at the time, and yeah, there's the the Bachelor.
Yeah, there's something so special about those that time.
Yeah, I mean, the Commodore, I mean, it's just so beautiful.
Wow, what a beautiful hotel.
You wanna go stay there tonight?
Yeah, let's do it.
Get the 2 bed? Yeah, I mean, they were so good with I think they put the roses on the bed twice, and that is a great hack for I mean, yeah, it's more honest when you actually did just get married, but and we've never used it, outside of marriage, but yeah, saying you just got engaged, it's like or you just got married, they treat you really well. Well, thanks for listening to the Match Artist podcast. We help guys with their online dating photos so they can go on more dates. So, I mean, we honestly want you to experience all of the joy that we've had in our marriages. And yeah, if you have any questions for future episodes where we interview experts and past clients about their experiences dating, drop it below and we'll see you in the next episode.